Good ball played in for Tony Morley. Oh, he must be! And it is! Peter Will!
Okay, hello and good evening. We are here. Hopefully we are live on our wonderful YouTube channel here. I am Craig Storrod and I'm joined by my wonderful friend. Welcome, Andy. It's a whole new world. It's a whole new frontier. Live on YouTube. Now I'm hoping that this is all working and this is all working fine. I'm sure it is. I'm going to be able to see, hopefully I'm going to be able to see comments and stuff popping up as we go. I have a top chat here, so hopefully we're working. Anyway, so you might recognize our voices. I am Craig Storrod at Craig Storrod on Twitter. This is my friend Andy Bates at K2 Villa on Twitter, and we have been recording the podcast. I've been on the podcast, I think, for 3 years, the Gather Round the Lamp podcast. Andy, you may have been on there slightly longer than me. Okay, it seems we may be having some audio issues. All right, hold on. Let me see. All right, let me see about the audio issues here. Maybe having some problems hearing our old buddy Andy here. All right, so we're going to check in. All right, so let me see. Apparently we can't hear you, Andy. I can hear you, but that's no good. All right, so Andy, we may have to ask you to step off, I'm afraid. Due to some technical issues. Unfortunately, we are hearing that we can't hear Andy. So for the love of the show must go on. Andy, thank you for joining. I can't fix the technical issues live in-house, but the show must go on, and we're going to roll on without Andy. Andy, thank you for joining us, and we will do this better next time. All right. So, here we go. I am here to talk a little bit about what's going on with Aston Villa. So this show is basically supposed to be a supplemental show to the main podcast. It's not replacing the main podcast. It's not instead of the main podcast. We're just going to be talking a little bit about Aston Villa's journey in Europe. Now, obviously, yesterday we had the breaking news that we know finally who we're playing for the first time in 13 years in Europe. We are literally going to be playing Hibs in the John McGinn derby next Wednesday, August the 23rd, I want to say. So for those of you who are unsure, basically what happened is there was an issue with us, the Hearts and Hibs, the Edinburgh, rivalry, meant that both those teams couldn't play on the same day. So we have actually been moved to the Wednesday, to the Champions League game, which is really good news for me because it means that we're going to be able to I'm going to be able to watch the game live. But this is a really huge deal. It is the John McGinn derby. It is John McGinn's return to Hibernian. And most importantly, not since the days of Martin O'Neill, Aston Villa are back in European competition. So this is going to be really, really a big day for us, for all of us. And it's going to be a massive opportunity because if we win over the two legs, the second leg is the following week. I want to say on August the 31st. Basically, we're going to be in the Europa League proper, and it means we're going to have all those fixtures, and we're going to be in the Europa Conference League, and we're going to be able to move forward with our opportunity and move forward with our chance to hopefully, dare I say, hopefully win a trophy for the first time since 1996, which would be absolutely incredible. So the second thing that I want to talk about really here is a little bit of the elephant in the room. Obviously, it's been addressed on the main show, so I'm not going to talk about it in too much detail. But the elephant in the room is not only a disastrous 5-1 loss, defeat, humiliation at St. James's Park last Saturday afternoon, but also even worse news of Tyrone Mings and Emi Buendia being crocked for the season. Now, this has been discussed in the Villa universe ad nauseum, so I won't go into too much detail here. But suffice to say that my reading of the situation is that Newcastle United game was a freak result. I think that the context, when you look at it, of losing Buendia, losing Mings within 48 hours, I think it really rocked us to the core. I think that we weren't ready for that. And how can you be ready for that? How can you prepare for that? And I think that the issue is that we really had quite a monumental setback, and I think that we, dare I say, crumbled a little bit under that pressure. We crumbled under that emotional strain. Now, I do back the lads and Emery to do the stuff and to rebuild and reconnect as we face Everton on Sunday. I'm hoping that the lads bounce back, and I'm hoping that we can get ready for our European adventure this coming Wednesday as well. So a little bit about the Everton fixture. Obviously, we're looking at having our new signing on board also. I believe there is breaking news in the Aston Villa universe. Aston Villa have made a signing in the last hour. It has been confirmed that we have in fact signed the young man, the 24-year-old ZANIOLO. Nicola ZANIOLO has joined from Galatasaray in Turkey. So this guy is a really, really exciting talent, an incredible talent. Unfortunately, he has suffered ACL injuries in the manner of our aforementioned Tyrone Mings and also Emiliano Buendia. He's had two of them in his very young career, as I say, only 24 years of age. But this is potentially a striking option to play as an alternative or to supplement Ollie Watkins up front. The signing is, as far as we know, a loan with an option or obligation to buy, depending on who you believe, depending on appearances that he makes this season. Now, this guy is hopefully, I guess, been signed in time to feature against Everton on Sunday. If he's fit and available, I'm sure he'll come straight into the squad. And I suppose the second thing to think about in regards to this signing is this could very well be the moment where our old friend Cameron Archer perhaps steps aside. There's been lots of chatter about Villa being open to offers for Cameron Archer. Lots of chatter about Villa being prepared to sell him permanently, perhaps similarly to the Aaron Ramsey situation, where there'll be perhaps a buyback opportunity for them. I just think that if we're gonna lose Cameron Archer and Aaron Ramsey, obviously I know the FFP ramifications. These players are pure profit. You want to make sure that we're getting good fees, the fees that are being spent and that Chelsea are commanding. For example, I see Lewis Hall has just moved to Newcastle for 30 million, including add-ons, which seems an obscene amount of money. Obviously, last summer we got 20 million for Carney Chukwuemeka, which was also quite an obscene amount of money. I just want to make sure that Villa are protected, and we also can bring these guys back if they have the ability to move Aston Villa forward. There's a slight tinge of disappointment in terms of those two players, with us not necessarily having the opportunity to blood them in this European competition. It seemed like Thursday night under the lights would be a great opportunity for the likes of Ramsey to come in. I've advocated for Aaron Ramsey to stay and get his opportunity in the wake of Emi Buendia leaving. But it seems as though that is not on the cards for either Ramsey or Cameron Archer. So I guess we just have to trust the process, trust the boss, trust Monchi, trust the football club, that they're making the right choices here. Now, the final thing that I will say is this again, is going to be a supplemental, hopefully weekly show, which we're going to try and do live after all of the European fixtures. So look out for us, hopefully Wednesday evening after a wonderful victory against the mighty Hibs in the John McGinn derby. It would be really nice if we went strong into that game, if we could get a 2 or 3 goal lead to take into the next round so we can rotate and keep our players fresh. Obviously, with these major injuries that we've experienced at the beginning of the season, it's going to be really, really important for us at Aston Villa to make sure that we're keeping everyone fit, keeping everyone safe, keeping everyone protected. And the way to do that, and we know that we have a master in our Unai Emery, is rotation, rotation, rotation. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I will hope to see you again to gather around again on Wednesday. In the meantime, you should look out for the regular podcast on our regular feeds. That's going to be up and running as well as this show. Hopefully, I'll look at this show back and see if we've had see what the issue is, if we've had any technical issues. But thank you for tuning in. It's our first show, our debut show, a little bit of a test run, and up the mighty Villa. Thank you for tuning in to Gather Round Again, an Aston Villa podcast. Please like down below and subscribe. Up the Villa.
Daly and Atkinson on one of those great runs.